Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? Why do we keep fighting each other? This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down with the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack for you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go. Don't look around, it's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? Why do we keep fighting each other? This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down with the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack for you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of
Hello, my beautiful benevolent warrior brothers, inherent sisters of love and light. Today I got a special treat for you guys. I have actually my number one student that I started working with for over nearly, like 7 years now, about somewhere around there. We'll let him introduce himself right now, but we're gonna go ahead and move some things right now. But we have some treats for you. We're gonna be covering, like it says in the title, Tio Femo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko. Just a quick breakdown, a forecast of it, not necessarily a prediction, but just give our 2 cents about it, what to look out for, what you guys should look out for, things like that. And then we're going to end up with some knuckle conditioning tips, because he had a prior injury from a street fight, basically. So that goes to show you, we're going to cover the bare knuckle conditioning. Okay, that's one thing I will tell you, I am a master in. Okay, I've mastered my knuckle conditioning my knuckles, been in hundreds of street fights. Okay, anyhow, we're gonna go ahead and get started very shortly. Help me out. right. So, in case you were wondering, that's my new contraption that I call the Neurobox. All right, it's for head bobbing and weaving. All right. Over here, I broke it. Go back to my last live feed. This is a cross-reference outdoor gym. You see it? You can't see it. It's back there, but right here you can see the notch. Right? There's a cross, and then from here you can hit it uppercut wise, hit it over, go under, bam, bam, strike it different ways. All right. So anyhow, so we're gonna go ahead and let George Polito, my number one student that I've had so far, is the only one that's truly has been training for fighting. All my other students were never fighters. And when you see my old videos, all those you criticize, keep in mind, none of them were fighters. None of them were training to be fighters. They were all training to be better gentlemen or women of society and whatnot. Because again, I cover at least four planes of existences: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. It's beyond brain and brawn. And anyhow, here's my number one student overall, period. And he's the only one that's actually was a fighter. I think you actually went professional, right? Semi-pro. So again, we'll let him introduce himself. Whatever, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Appreciate you. Hey everybody, my name is George Pulido, brothers and sisters. Welcome to this live feed. We're just here to learn and study different methods. I've been training under Jesus for a long time, and he's taught me things that no other trainer has been able to teach me. When you think outside the box, you find new ideas, new concepts that actually work. And I'm here as a white belt, always a student before I'm ever a teacher to learn. And take it away, Jesus. Let us know what we're going to work on today.
So there you go. I really didn't introduce myself that properly in the sense that I didn't give you my full name. Most of you already know it, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to you again. My name is Jesus Nezaya Medina, aka Striker, when it comes to the fight game, because I like to strike a lot. But anyways, so like he was saying, I chose to go beyond what the body needed or what the body wanted. And I went ahead to study what the body needed. Why? Because of my PTSD that I went through when I was in Iraq, over 550 combat missions. So not only am I like battle proven in the actual battlefield, but even in the streets. Again, it's not an arrogant, but I'm just trying to point this out so that maybe you can be like, okay, who is this guy who's talking all this stuff that makes sense, but I don't know if I should trust him or not. Well, here's a little bit of my background. So hopefully you can understand how is it that I came up with all these concepts and connected neuroplasticity and many other things in order to overcome PTSD and any other phobia blockage. So anyhow, through this is how we're going to help you condition your body to become optimized from the inside out. Have you heard of the saying, as above, so below? Well, that is an axiom, esoteric axiom, that is an energetic term, concept. But it's also a reality in as above, so below, meaning as your stomach, as your gut, as your microbiome, meaning the environment that's here, it's going to reflect what's up here, or vice versa. What's up here is going to reflect what's down here. So if the microbiome is clean, this will be clean. That means you're going to be like Vasily Lomachenko, really fast with your conditioning, with your reflexes, I should say. So with that in mind, one thing I want to start pointing out is you guys need to start understanding, if you want to train like Vasily Lomachenko, you need to forget about how he's training. Eventually that'll come. You'll figure it out. What you need to get into is why they're doing it, not why he's doing it. But obviously, yes, why he's doing it, but why his team are doing it. Because if you don't, it's the equivalent of you, a man, a woman, young or old, buying a gun, not taking any courses on it, and trying to defend yourself with it. Yes, it kills. And you don't need to know how to use a gun to shoot somebody point blank and kill them. But if you don't have any training with it, it could be a danger to yourself or to your family. Do you see where that concept is going? So if you try to train like Vasily Lomachenko with all those foot drills and all those hand and eye coordination, you will level up your reflexes. But if you don't know the power in it, meaning the neuroplasticity, the new connections that are happening when he's doing this number, what's happening here? Here, I'm only using left brain hemisphere. You might be saying, well, wait a minute, you're using your right hand. Why are you saying you're using the left brain hemisphere? Because this hemisphere controls the right side. But when I do this, now I just synchronize both brain hemispheres. So imagine Vasily Lomachenko doing this all the time. And when he does those crisscross, that's thousands and thousands of new connections, even though it's repetitive and he's done it for many years. It's something somewhat unnatural, but it's something that the body can adapt to. So imagine that those new connections, when they know what they're doing, it is very empowering. Okay, if you don't know what you're doing with the gun is not empowering at all. It's not. It might feel good to shoot it, even if you don't like violence, because it's a weird adrenaline rush that happens. But if you don't know how to use it, if you don't know what's going on, it's worthless. So now let's go to the lesson at hand. Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. Um, I'm going to shock you guys, especially at the end of what I won't say my prediction is, but what I forecast out to be. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you right now, some of your guys' heads it might explode, but then again, some of you might not because we see what we see. So I am going to call that Lopez will win this fight by, I'm gonna say it out loud, by cut hair. All right. And here's the number one reason why I say that. I know you guys might thinking I'm crazy, but hey, politics are politics. Think about it in those terms. Which one is the better character? And I'm not saying who's a better man, who's a better person, who's a better civilian, who's no. I'm talking about in American terms. Who's who's more marketable? That's all I'm gonna leave it at. Do you have anything to point out on here before we get going?
Right on the dot.
So see, we're already getting fucked with, but it's all right. Hopefully we didn't get cut off because on our end it showed that it got cut off, but sometimes it keeps going. We're getting cut off again. See, this always happens when I bring out like controversial information. It just starts fucking up on me really bad. So, anyways, we'll see if hopefully it keeps going. Let me check on the actual YouTube to make sure if we're even live because I forgot to check that. Okay, the microphones are good, the sound is good. All right, so everything's good. So now, let's see where to start off with this. So Lomachenko really doesn't need an introduction overall for most of you that would even watch this. For Lopez, nowadays, yeah, you really don't need much of it, but just in case you need it, he's the younger feller, okay? They both have the same amount of technical, professional fights. Okay, I believe Teofimo has about two more knockouts more than what Vasily Lomachenko has. I might be wrong. Again, I forgot to mention that this is not, this is totally improvised. So pardon us if we're like all over the place right now. It was a last minute visit that I had from my student, and we just decided to put this for you guys. The demonstration will be entertaining, but it's just going to take a while for us to put this together. So with this in mind, we do know that Lomachenko is southpaw, okay? But in case you guys didn't know, Lomachenko was born and he is a technical orthodox. This is why he's so good at southpaw. Now, most of you are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about by saying that? Well, here's the thing where neuroplasticity comes in, okay? When you're not trying to be perfect, perfection comes out. But if you try to be what you're something you're not, and you're trying to be like someone that is at something, like say for instance, Pacquiao, by the way, he is also orthodox, but he fights southpaw. Now look at those two fighters. Now, how many of you there? Raise your hand real quick. I'm just kidding. How many of you actually have Lomachenko and Pacquiao as one of your top 15 fighters of all time? Most of you would raise your hand. But, and then again, keep that in mind. They're both orthodox, but they both fight southpaw. Okay, so with that in mind, keep that in mind. Okay, we have Lopez who fights southpaw. Now, one thing we both notice, and anybody else can notice, is that Lopez likes to slip way, like over exaggerating to the left. Watch the fights. How many times has he actually been hit there? None. Okay, doesn't mean he can't get hit from this side. And come on, Lomachenko's Lomachenko. He's gonna get hit a lot from that side because that's the side he goes to, and that's what we're gonna cover today on how. Because think about it, Lomachenko's Lomachenko. We don't need to give that. We don't need to give that camp any tips. Okay, Lopez camp. We really don't need to give much Lopez because they actually know Lopez very well. But there are some things that we can point out that can be used against this higher, way higher caliber fighter. But keep this in mind, though. Don't forget, though, that Lopez has a long ways to go before he reaches his prime. Loma already reached it. So that alone technically gives Loma a limitation, even though he's so multidimensional. So with that in mind, we're gonna go ahead and show you guys a few drills. Again, this is gonna to help you guys against someone that you might meet that kind of fights like Lomachenko or does the Lomachenko stepping, which is similar overall to the Mike Tyson shuffle, where he's squared off, right? He's overall orthodox, and then so face me. So whether he's facing southpaw or orthodox fighter, he would either go up down, but he would either with that momentum coming up and down, whether he's punching, he's gonna use that momentum to bam, place himself. And right here he does that up, down. Once he loses his balance because he's not a southpaw, naturally he can just fall over with this guard. And right here again, bam, bam, up, down, whichever way. Lomachenko, though, the way he does it, when I did it, you did it earlier, he did it pretty good. How he did that shuffle. So it almost looks like he's dancing, where he shuffles to the right, but it's kind of like he throws his leg way over. It's not just a, yeah. So see, so yeah, watch it that way so they can see it with you. So see how it's over exaggerating. So do this one on this side, the way you were, but do it the one over here. So that's what Lomachenko is going to do to Lopez. And what does he always do? Do it again, but as you're dropping, it's going to look silly to just do it as you're dropping, throw that hook. So land with the hook, even though it might feel silly to just do it. Okay. So that's what he does. Okay. So Lopez, again, so remember, Lomachenko's going to come this way to Lopez. And what does Lopez do? For one, naturally, he slips way left, right? So what Lopez needs to do in something like this, or you being a fighter that faces someone that's similar to Lomachenko, that is a southpaw and does that motion, okay, all you need to do is, with that southpaw, you know how Lopez does keep his hand here, for the most part, very well here. This one, he keeps it low sometimes, he tries to bait, right, just like Lomachenko or others do. So anyhow, but he keeps this one here good, which is good. All he needs to do is step with, all right, always with a Spartan shove. So come over here and do that motion. So last thing also, do it this way, blinding. Remember, blind and then do it. Yeah. So he always blinds. Lomachenko does, whether it's with the jab or with the straight. Usually is that straight because from right here he has to bring that guard back, bring it back, and see naturally he brings that kinetic energy this way. This is why Lomachenko doesn't get tired. Okay, so as he's doing that, so do it again, the blind. So what Lopez needs to do is as soon as he sees the blind, whether Loma's gonna do it or not, he needs to mirror. He needs to yin yang Lomachenko, which is so start to normal and then do it all. So blind, but yeah, so do it again. So as soon as I see the blind, I'm gonna do it all. Motion. Boom. So see, I'm gonna mirror it. And even if you don't do it, not blind and do it, you do it. No, don't do it. But don't do this one. Only blind. Boom. So see, right there, I got him all kinds of motions. Right here, I can simply just step into him and just push him, and he's gonna get disrupted, and he's gonna have to adjust, adapt, and overcome. Okay. So with that in mind, again, I'm gonna be Lomachenko. You stand that way. You're Lopez. So I'm Lomachenko, standing southpaw. All right. So. So do the slip and just do overhand right slowly, just overall right now, just a step slip, just like how, no, just you're gonna slip this, or you're gonna, exactly, Just that. Because remember, that's what Lopez does, which is he goes way to the left, way out, and then he throws that overhand right and he connects very well. So just do that slowly right now a few times. So remember, this is what Lopez likes to do. Look how far he's getting from me. All right. So, but then again, this is where Loma does. So keep doing it. All right. So remember, he's doing that, right? So now I'm gonna be Loma. Now time it with me. I'm gonna blind him and then come over. No, remember that's what you mirror me. And then, but I'm just saying, like, so that's how he's gonna be so safe in so many ways until Loma, boom, bam, comes over. But see, when he jumps over, I can't really hit him here. It's very difficult on no jump. So if I blind him, bam, bam, I'm over here, right here. Remember, Loma, what does he like to do? He always likes to hit behind the ear, and he does it very well to where any centimeters more, it'll be technically behind the head. But that's the one thing Lopez camp needs to look out for: those blatant shots from Lomachenko in the back of the ear. It's not in the back of the head. It's still honorable. He's still accurate enough, but he does it on purpose, guys, because when you get hit back here, anywhere back here, your equilibrium gets really shot out. Your knees get really light, really awful. Look at Fury versus Dante Wilder. I don't care if he cheated or not. I'm not saying it's okay. What I'm getting at is, even if he didn't cheat, whatever, whether he did or didn't, Deontay Wilder, so normal orthodox, like, so shoot at me, just like you shoot at my face. So this is what Deontay Wilder would do. Look, watch the fights. That's what he always does. Do it again, and then this time actually touch my head. Like you're gonna, yeah. So that's what he would do. But look at where he's getting hit. And remember, by the third round, he was already very wobbly. Remember, he tried to blame it on his big suit and his nah. That is BS. That's how it goes to show you how many professional high playing athletes don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You know why that happened? Because of lactic acid, for one, building up in his tiny little legs. All right, and then we have the master Street Fighter Fury, bigger, pushing down on his ass all the time, pushing him, fucking shoving him, all that stuff. What does that do? Build up lactic acid. What does that do? I can't really move around. What does that do? I'm afraid to get hit. I'm gonna look away, but I'm always getting hit in the back of the head. When you get hit in the back of the head, your knees wobble, your equilibrium gets shot out. So you guys need to learn these things from the inside out. So now let's do the counter for it. So the counter for it, remember, you're gonna step to the side, yeah, and then you'll kick back, yeah. So come here straight. So this is what we recommend Lopez to do. I'm gonna orthodox blind him, whichever way I decide to do it, and then from there I'm gonna skip over so that I can try to hit him here, and this is where he's gonna adapt. So come over here on this side and face me. So if he doesn't move, does everything what he just did right now, after I blind him, however, bam, and you try to do it here, he won't be able to because he's blocked. This is why I say Lopez needs to do, as soon as you see a blind, any type of blind, meaning it's a pro jab, you know there's no way, because you know how Lopez, he knows how to control the distance, so he can see if it's an intentional jab or if it's just a pro jab. Dude, no, so blind, as soon as he sees the blind, most likely, yeah, he has to do that, whether Lomachenko is coming, because look, do it, and I'm going to come, see what happens. So blind, there, completely missed, and and not only that, stand here, and then once, don't punch, once I hop over, move out of the way, so blind, bam, and then move out of the way. So right here, now it's like he wouldn't move out of the way, I'm just saying move out of the way so you guys can see. So I'm here, remember, he was standing here, meaning his feet. So that means he is aligned to hit me perfect with his fucking power shot, especially that overhand right. So now throw the overhand right. So blind, bam. All right, do it again over here because you couldn't see it there, but you see how he moved again. So blind. Forgot, see, you're supposed to jump back. Get away, guys. Go. Go. Thank you. Go, Jack. Go. Take it over there, Jack. Take it. Go. Go.
Hey, out. Ándale.
Thank you.
Ándale.
Go.
Let's go.
Go, Jack. Go, Jack. Go, Jack. Go, Jack. Go. Go, Father. Go. All right. So now he's gonna do the motion and watch how his straight and everything ends up. So blind. All right. Now we'll do it this way so you can see where his straight. Remember, because this is George Polito, but then we have Lopez. Remember, watch Lopez's arm and try to picture that with my arm being Lomachenko's, all right? And you'll see that it'll work. So again, I'm gonna blind, bam. Because remember, this is how he ends up, Lomachenko. And then from here, he either goes that Peter Patter out, couldn't because of the dog, but he Peter Patters out from that situation, right? And then the other one is the one where again you mirror it. This is where you, when I asked you what would you do, he basically he did this motion, but he didn't add the so which is what I agreed with, but except for the way I did it was to add that Mike Tyson skip. Without that Mike Tyson skip, you don't use gravity to your advantage. Meaning with the Mike Tyson skip, remember he likes to do the uppercut hooks, right? Doing uppercuts, hooks, and what does his head do? It keeps going up and down, right? And once he knows he has the motion, boom, he skips over. That's all he does, right? Bam. And he comes this way or this way. So see, I'm cocked, ready to go. Bam, bam. I'm cocked, ready to go. All right, but Lomachenko does it wide so that he can get away easy because he's smaller and he can move around quicker. With Mike Tyson, he's too big. He needs to stay in there because the farther he gets, the more danger he was in with these big heavyweights he was fighting. So let's do the step Spartan shove in, but as a mirror. So if I blind you, as soon as I blind you, you're gonna mirror it. Bam, so you're gonna mirror me, you get me, bam, and then from right there, that's where the Spartan shove comes in. Bam, no, just bam, boom, that up down, really quick, and so the Spartan shove will be his. So if I'm orthodox, the Spartan shove is this. So all I did was bam, come in. It's not illegal. From right here, I can get his off balance just by moving his knee or bam, 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 get out, stuff like that. But that's why the Spartan shove comes in. So you can throw two or anything. I can stub his arm. Bam! Oh, sorry. I can stub his arm and it will hurt. Okay, I could go into it. Bam. I can make it. I can like keep your eye on the ball, the baseball. Keep your eye on the fist. At the last second, bam. This is the only time you should catch. All right. When you hear never catch, because if you try to catch, well, one thing is I was gonna do it on this one, but just do it on this one. So what I like to do is bam. Literally, you may think like, oh, it has gloves. That's not gonna hurt. Trust me, it fucking hurts. It shocks. All right. So this is why I don't. Boom. That's all I do. If you try to catch, so bam, right? They push it down. Exactly. So do that again. Bam. Because he's pushing my arm down, so I'm just gonna go with it. Bam. So I went that way. Boom. He pushed it down. So it's the same thing as doing this, bringing this one back. So I'm just gonna go with it and bring that shoulder down. And I got my guard here. And this is what I always say: unless you're in a street fight, don't catch. You don't need to catch. In a street fight, throw a punch. So here I can catch this way to move his arm around and stuff like that to twist him around. That's the only time you should catch. Street fighting, yeah, you can do that because bam, you can poke his eye because you don't know if he has a knife or something, stuff like that. So, anyways, so let's do it again. Where you yin yang me. I call it the yin yang because think about what the yin yang is. So the yin yang is always spinning, two of them spinning. So Lomachenko's gonna go that way, meaning I'm Lomachenko. I'm gonna come this way, so he's gonna mirror me, yin yang me. Okay. Yep. Again. So let's go ahead. Sorry. So blind, bam. So right there. So instead of going back, you're gonna throw that into me. So you're gonna want me to be like that. So where I'm like this, then I have to do that. Okay. So see what I'm saying? So, sorry. So blind, bam. Exactly. See, I'm way off balance. I couldn't even hit this one. This I wouldn't even be. Even if I was able to swing, come back again, come back into me. Boom. Even if I was able to swing, what am I gonna hit? A fucking illegal hit in back of the head or back of his back? It's not natural for one. What I'm gonna try to do is fucking push him away and get out of the way because he can fucking easily hit me right there. So anyways, there's that one. move around. Um, and then just real quick to show you that same motion. So let's do the kick and then mule kick out. So step out, mule kick out. So blind, bam. We can also overall motion without the punch. If it was MMA, whether I'm south orthodox or southpaw, if I'm gonna try to hit that one or hit it this way, instead of blocking it, do the same motion. See, there's too many motions that I could have dropped you easily. So just simple motions without panicking. Just no. If you do that, you're gonna get injured. That's bullshit ego alpha stuff. Get rid of that shit. This is the right way. All right. Look at nothing against my boy Gilbert Melendez. He's my boy from Santa Ana, but watch his fight against goodness, what's the Hawaiian dude's name? Forgot his name.
Hawaiian guy?
Not Holloway, but the other one. Goodness. Benson. Benson. I forgot his first name, but Benson, the one that has the solid trunks. Gilbert Melendez only threw one kick and missed it, but he took like 70 kicks, and that's the only reason why he lost that fight. He could have easily. I'm calling it right now. To someone like Benson, sorry, Henderson, Benson, Ben Henderson. No. It's the Hawaiian dude. I know you guys know who I'm talking about. If Gilbert Melendez would have threw at least 15 kicks or so, and only contacted half of it, he would have won that fight. Other than that, he got shot out and he couldn't really swing anymore. Okay, so this is what Lopez needs to do for one to Lomachenko, which is going to be very difficult, is to press to build up the lactic acid in Lomachenko or beat Lomachenko's body, which Lopez is good at. You can to chop it down, to slow this down. Once you slow this down, these little T-Rex arms are not going to be able to have any true power. They can still win in points, okay, but so this is the right way to evade a kick. Right, so all you need to do is just step to just even completely to the right or a slight bit back, bro, to the side the kick is coming from. You see, there was no panic or anything, and all he did was step to the right. He didn't even now step backward a little bit. No, step back down first, and so try to kick me. That's it, simple. So that's all I did. So do it again. Bam. And you might think like, yeah, that's not gonna work in real life because you can backhand and all this. These are split second things. You're an athlete. You are very conditioned. If that happens, go ahead, do it. Bam. From right here, you can do many things. You can drop them in so many different ways. You might say, what about that backhand? Well, this is why, boom, you have that guard. You're moving around, have that guard at you. And then from there, you can grab arm, do all kinds of things. But the point is if you don't have to check, don't check. Most of the times, you're not going to have the upper hand. Very few times you'll be able to parry that check and get them off balance. And more than half of the time, you won't be in position to capitalize on it. So it's not even worth it. I recommend you just completely evade. So I'm going to kick it to you. So you completely evade, Jack. Get away. Go. Stop disrespecting. Go. Go. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I'm going to pick you. So now remember, just step out and back. So out and then mule kick out. Boom, and then mule kick out. So no, it's still too many plyometrics on that. So yeah, more like that exactly. And then the save the plyometrics so when you land on the heel, that's when the two comes. So if I go bam, exactly. See, so I mean, I might be a little bit picky about little things, but if you really look down at the technicalities of it, you'll be like, well, yeah, that makes sense. Because if you would have used that plyometric here to kind of step away, there's not much to go this way. All right, but if you just and then from here, from as soon as you land, because you know that here you're already safe. Even before you land, you already created the space needed. No matter what, once his foot is off the ground, because it's in the air. He can't stop it in the air and then readjust and do some crazy taekwondo kicks. That only happens in video games. That doesn't happen in real life. So anyhow, aside from that, Lomachenko. So is there anything you need to add for the motions, any demonstrations, any tips?
No, Just
'Cause I'm gonna close off in it soon.
yeah, we're practicing that move, that step heel kick. I know he Jesus mentioned the kick, but it's because when he's blinding and trying to come around an angle like Mike Tyson style. That's when that works, right?
Yeah.
So you're trying to come at an angle, you're trying to blind,
Blind.
and then that's. I just want them to be clear that it's not for a kick. It's for that when you come
Yeah.
at an angle, steps aside, heel kick, and then if you want, come forward with what you need. You know.
Exactly. So it'll work for not only boxing, fight, MMA, but obviously uh, bare knuckle fighting and obviously street fighting. All right, to use all that economy of motion, basically self-preservation. Never be offensive unless by way of defense. That's the magic of Vasily Lomachenko. Some of you, it's not very few of you might say, "Oh, he has little T-Rex arms and this and that." Aside that, he's great. You know, he just learned how to master, and it won't work for anyone else who has little arms. Well, that's where most people are wrong, and it's very difficult to imagine how you keeping yourself this tight, you can beat bigger, taller, longer men. Here's one way you can think about what's going on there. Meaning, look at Vasily Lomachenko whenever he hits somebody. You know, he hits somebody. He hits people pretty quickly all the time when he does. But watch his head. His head has to be like right there, right where he's gonna hit, because remember he keeps himself really tight, so nothing really can come in, and that's the beauty about training in the double end bag, uh, like so. So you just kind of leaning into it. You see how I'm leaning into it without punching, right? So it's the same motion overall, like Mike Tyson as well. When he boom, you see, boom. I'm not wasting any energy here. But if you so see, it's little tight shots, and they really do work. Okay. So anyhow, aside from that, anything else? So here's the reason why I say, okay. Well, first of all, if Vasily Lomachenko, he won't knock out, dead knockout Lopez, but Vasily Lomachenko can TKO. Okay, meaning, because come on, Lopez is Lopez, he's not gonna give up. Vice versa. Even though Lopez has more power, way more power than Vasily Lomachenko, I don't see Lopez both knocking out Vasily Lomachenko unless by way of TKO, meaning the ref stops it. Because I don't see Vasily Lomachenko giving up either. But um, here's where the crazy thing comes in. So, what I forecast, again, is not a prediction, is what I forecast happening if Vasily Lomachenko doesn't get a TKO by the seventh round. Uh, uh, um, uh, in real terms, yes, Vasily Lomachenko can win easily. Anonymous decision by at least majority. Sorry, yeah, majority decision where all the judges give it to at least 2 rounds above Lopez. But um, Lopez is gifted. It's hard to explain. It's very difficult to explain. He really is natural. But what I'm trying to get at is uh, uh, he knows how to control distance well enough. He knows how to take a punch. He can roll, meaning roll with the punches. And when he does get punched, he can get hit fucking hard as hell and barely get stunned. Okay, so that's just what I'm saying. Lomachenko won't knock out Lopez, but here's where it gets crazy. I see what happened with Pacquiao versus Marquez to the T around the same exact round happening in this fight. Believe it or not. For the simple fact, how do we start? What did I say about Lopez? What he does? Way like abnormal, way slip to the left. Look how he beat Coti, the last fight. All right, both did the same exact motion, but look at Coti. I think Comey or Coti, I forgot his name. The African guy. He slipped too because they're both orthodox. He slipped too, but he only went like this, the natural we're taught. This is not natural. What Lopez does, and this is why you see every now and then lately Lomachenko making fun of Lopez hitting the big bag like that, all wide. Well, Lopez kind of does that, but he doesn't stay wide like this. What he does is these weird angles that he creates, and he looks like he's wide, but he's creating that so that you don't see this hand coming from right here up and then over. So anyhow, uh, so what happened? And I called that one too because why? Because of for one strategy, I knew those fighters. They were my two favorite fighters when it happened, and not only that, physics. I had a feeling that Marcus was going to time it. I called it that it was going to happen on the 8th. I think it happened on the 7th, I think, 7th or 6th, somewhere around there. I was a little off on the round, but I said it exactly that they were going to collide, that Marquez was going to get lucky, but it timed. So just like Lopez, will time Vasily Lomachenko, and I believe they will collide. And Vasily Lomachenko doesn't have a weak chin, but there's something wrong up here, and I don't mean like he's crazy. I mean he's been hit too many times, and this is why that silly. I mean it was a beautiful straight that Linares threw, and here's the thing. Here's where the trick is to stunning, because you really won't knock out Vasily Lomachenko, but stunning him is this angle. And we know that Lopez is slightly taller for one. He's basically the same size as Linares, okay? And this is what Linares did. From here, he just seen the open shot. He's like, all right, I'm gonna take it. Bam! It wasn't even hard. He's like, all right, cool. I hit him good, and he dropped him. But it was just because Vasily Lomachenko did this, and he was gonna come at the same time, boom, and hit him, and it just stunned him and just dropped him. It didn't hurt him, but you're gonna tell me that Lopez, if he gets that lucky shot in, you're gonna tell me that Lomachenko's gonna get up from that? He won't. He won't get up from that. I mean, he might get up, and the referee might stop it. But that's my forecast. Believe it or not, is I'm calling it that Lopez will win this one. Okay, and I haven't figured out what it's gonna be, but if it's a stoppage, that's what's gonna be. It's gonna be a repeat of Marquez versus Pacquiao. Same exact thing. Pacquiao is an orthodox fighter, naturally born orthodox, but he fights southpaw. Vasily Lomachenko, same thing. Born orthodox, fights southpaw. Okay, look at Marquez's style and Lopez's style. Not very similar, but overall, in and out, in and out, in and out. Both have great timing. Both have great dictation of range. Right? I'm telling you, the same exact thing is going to happen. And if it doesn't, Lopez does have a chance, a very, very slight chance of winning on points, but I don't see Lopez winning on points at all. But that's my forecast. Those are the only two things I see happening. And then when it gets closer to the actual fight, I'll give my final actual prediction. All right. After I look at the biorhythms. Look at biorhythms. I'm not going to explain much to you because I already tried bringing them up and no one wants to look into that. But it's beyond brain and bond. Anything else you want to add? Last thing, real quick, is tell him the story, whatever you want to share about his knuckle. So basically, like I mentioned, we're going to give a little bit of discussion, exploration into knuckle conditioning for the simple fact that he just faced not too long ago.
All right. So basically, you're with your family member outside of a store complex, whatever. You see someone basically attack one of your loved ones. Instead of thinking about it, you react at the drop of a dime. Cold in the morning, you're not warmed up. You basically just go help your family, right? This guy, I don't know, he had a bad day or something, but he spit in my aunt's face. My aunt's the sweetest lady in the world. She wouldn't hurt a fly. He spit in her face while she was walking to the store. To go get my grandmother. And I just reacted. I just wailed on the guy, started hitting the guy. Didn't think about it. I just reacted, tried to hurt him. After a while, the guy started covering up, got in a fetal position, and I didn't think where I placed the shots. I just tried to throw him really hard, and I ended up hitting him in his cranium, probably in one of the hard parts of your head, and I actually fractured my left hand. So We're just gonna go over maybe something that I could have done to condition my hand before that happened, or just things that you can do in that moment. Say maybe I already seen the guy. I should have just maybe thrown a knee, or maybe thrown an elbow. Something just to. It's better to know before it happens than for it to happen and then you don't know. So be prepared instead of getting prepared.
There you go. So overall, what we're gonna explore right now, in a sense, is first of all process of elimination. He he just came home, letting me know he got in a fight or whatnot, and he's called me. He's like, "Hey man, fucking this happened." So what I would do, whether it's just a friend, trainer, whatever it may be, I'm gonna do process of elimination to make sure my client, student, whatever is okay. So first thing I would say, how swollen is your hand? Oh, it is swollen. Okay, well, how big is it? Is it triple the size of your hand, or is it just a slight bit? Because the reason why I asked this is when I was young in a street fight, I had a boxer's fracture. Believe it or not, I was only 11 years old fighting a bigger gang member. Yes, 11 years old. Think about you who have 11-year-old kids and look at them and be like, wait, my son at 11 years old beating up a gang member that's older? It happened. But the point is I broke the actual ring finger, the actual boxer's fracture there. Same exact motion, everything. Hitting the dude in front of the top of the head because I snapped, because he tried to grab me in a headlock, all those things. After that point, that's when I started to condition my bones everywhere, hitting walls as I was walking to school, just barely tapping. Tapping. As you're tapping, you're kind of scraping at the same time as you're tapping, and you get rid of the sensitivity. But so when that happened, within minutes after the fight, my hand was literally that size as a kid. So that's how I knew that was literally broken. And yeah, I had to get a cast all the way over here. So as you can see right now, showing your hand, my sideways and everything, the sideways is this, so they can see if it's lump. So it's this one here. All I see is this lump here. So that overall, in my experience, to me, it might be a slight fracture, but I think that's just I think it's called a hematoma. Hematoma, I think is what it's called. Basically, it's like a contusion, where it's like a lump, where it's not an actual bruise, but it's still damage under there. Not capillaries, but I forgot what it is that gets broken, and that's why you get swollen. Inflammation. So, since if he would have told me what he's explained, what I see, and I'm like, okay, I see that, I would tell him to check out the ligaments and tendons all around these lines, especially in here when they go inside these bones, and to massage all of them, and especially here, you'll get all these crazy, I mean, very tender areas. And then not only that, but in here, in this meaty parts, it'll hurt. Even right now, I don't have any issues, but it is very tender to squeeze all in these areas. The areas where they meet bones, anywhere on your quad, up here, okay. Where else? On your neck, your vagus nerve, right where the muscles connect to the actual skull. So anywhere where big muscles or any muscles, especially the muscles you can see on the outside, where they connect to bones. So that's one way he can start to alleviate that and eliminate that prolonging any further. But as far as conditioning, so the first thing I did when I was a kid is, so here's, yeah, you can see it. So I mean, the bird are flat. So you don't even have to hit hard, and you don't have to follow through. When you follow through, that's when you break hands. Yeah, you can break someone's face, but it's not worth it. So all you need to do is just like Bruce Lee says, snap. So that was decent. If I punch you with that, it didn't look hard, but I can hurt you with that because of the way I move my main knuckle. So if I hit it hard, still nothing hurts. Nothing. I mean, I don't know if you can. I wish I had a microphone here so you can hear it. I hit that thing pretty damn hard. I'll do it one more time, but hopefully you can hear it. And again, it doesn't hurt because the way I hit it. Okay, as you can see, where did my hand ended up almost exactly after you hear the sound? It was already here. In all reality, technically, it should be here. And this is why you shouldn't really follow through. Even when you're going to do your knockout hit, you shouldn't follow completely through. Um, um, because if you for some reason just miss it just a tiny little bit and it graces off and you have someone who knows what they're doing, like Lomachenko or anyone else, they're gonna capitalize on that. You're gonna be done with when you're left out. So just like step back, kind of like Mayweather does. No, step back like Mayweather does. And remember how he does that? He just ding ding. McGregor, everybody does it because it works. You know, you just boom, all plyometrics, fly back into that counter. Simple, which is what Marquez did. He just slight little bit because what did Pacquiao do? He did that little jump he does, 1, 2, and then ha, and then this one was just there and boom before he hit, bam. But he went his face into it. So Marquez didn't even swing hard, just like Linares didn't swing hard, but he timed it. And again, when two forces collide, the impact. If we collided in tackle football or something, the impact of both our speeds, he's going to feel it, and I'm going to feel it. If he's going at 35 miles an hour and I'm going at 32 and we hit, I'm not going to feel 32 miles per hour or feel 35. I'm going to feel 67. No, 35. What is it?
Double?
33 and 32, right? But you get it. Basically, I will feel my speed and his speed in my bones hurt, and vice versa, him too. So that's what happened with Pacquiao. And I feel that this is what is going to happen with Vasily Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. I believe that Teofimo Lopez will get lucky from his skill because he does have skill. He will time it properly, just like Marquez did. And we're gonna see a fucking a new reigning champion that is a real champion. And I'm not saying Vasily Lomachenko is not a real champion, but not many people, for some odd reason, because of politics, they don't know about Lomachenko much. Boxers obviously do, but the world, I mean, most people know who McGregor is. Most people know who Mayweather is, whether they know boxing or not. And this is what I mean. Like Lopez does have a chance to become that. Vasily Lomachenko here in America, not really. Again, even though he's a phenomenal fighter, you see what I'm saying? And I hope you understand what I mean about the politics. This is why I did not pursue my professional careers when it came to boxing and MMA because of the damn politics. It wasn't worth my soul. All right, but if anybody, anyway, and this is no ego, but if anybody wanna tassel with me, hey, invite me, man. And I mean like a true warrior, physical chess like match. I don't mean like stupid ego shit. No, I just I just want to make the world a better place and make stronger, benevolent warriors of light. Anything else you want to add?
Oh, beautiful, brother.
All right, so I mean, I didn't cover too much about the bare knuckle stuff, but that's the next thing I'm going to be covering pretty soon. I'm gonna give you guys actual drills so you can try it. And you're like, wait, really? Like this? Yeah, trust me, it'll work. All right, because you got to go through a crawl, walk, run, face. Okay, so that's about it. I mean, think about how I opened up saying, hey, a gun is deadly, but if you don't know how to use a gun, it can be deadly to you or your community or your society, right? Meaning if you don't have any training with a firearm. So sometimes a firearm is worthless. And I'm not saying me or anyone can possibly work their skills to where they'll stop a bullet or be faster than a bullet. No, come on now. But I'm saying, trust me, I know because I've been shot at before I went to war and at war, and somehow you can hear them, but it doesn't matter how good of a fucking shooter you are. It's hard to move a moving target for one, and two, when your time's up, your time's up. And that's that. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. Don't forget, you're limited to your creativity. Pain is temporary. Pride is eternal. Fulfillment lasts forever. A fight will be worth it, whether it's mental, physical, spiritual, or emotional. The universe within, while you and I, VERSE, as one verse, will reciprocate dearly. All right. And don't forget, my name is Jesus Nazar Medina, aka Striker. Once again, I'm saying that Lopez is going to win.
George Pulido, I'm saying that Lomachenko's gonna.
I'll say it, man. That's what I was going to ask you too. So, what was your forecast? Because it's not necessarily the prediction yet.
I got my money on Lomachenko simply because of I believe he's had more fights. I believe he has a a little more experience. He's been under those bright lights a little more. I think that's what's going to help him. But I don't know who's going to win. This is one of those 50-50s. You're right. Dale hits like a mule. You never know. He might get caught.
And yeah, so I mean, like I said, I didn't say it, but I'm gonna say it. Yeah, Loma is supposed to win. From the numbers, from everything. Are you kidding me? Not to take anything from Lopez. No, you guys know that. But I'm saying Loma's Loma, man. there's, as you can see, I had nothing for his camp. Nothing. Those dudes are on another level, man, and they understand what they're doing. Okay? And I'm the type that goes for the underdogs, and I find ways to empower the underdog. I'm not saying he doesn't, because he really does do that. But I'm saying this is why most of the times I go for the underdogs, and I try to pump you guys with, call it fantasies, but listen to what I said. And you're going to be like, well, it makes sense. If it can happen, if they can make it happen, yeah, it can come. The outcome could be the way you're saying. Because remember, I talk from facts, from physics, from things that really do happen with the body, with the limitations of man. So anyhow, gotta get going. As you can see, we got this little antsy guy over here. Oh, you can't really see him. But anyways, gotta get going. And we'll be back with the Neurobox, the more of the cross-reference trainer. I gotta fix it. I broke it. Watch it. I striked it too many times, and the thing fell off. And then knuckle conditioning. All right, gotta get going. One love, one life. For together, a life will shine much brighter. Peace.
Lover
know what? It's gonna go round and around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't want to be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what? It's gonna go on around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense.
many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go. Don't look around, it's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go. Don't look around, it's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go, don't look around. It's gonna be like that, now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go, don't look around. It's gonna be like that, now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go, don't look around. It's gonna be like that, now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound will be slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All other shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound will be slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All other shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound will be slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. It doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. It doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. It doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solidarity. Solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solidarity. Solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go on around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war, and babies create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All other shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go on around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war, and babies create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All other shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go on around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next. Because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down. see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All other shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All other shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create agents of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go. Don't look around, it's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All other shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go. Don't look around, it's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All other shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go. Don't look around, it's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down, cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go on around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down, cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go on around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down, cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go on around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All out of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All out of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. Victors program their future enemies. All out of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go. Don't look around, it's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go. Don't look around, it's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down cause it's on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone with you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go. Don't look around, it's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put this on and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack with you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause it's on the slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit. I'm done with this reality. I'm done.
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack for you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack for you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this pressure coming at you? Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex all those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All of sheer fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? We keep fighting each other. This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack for you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary. Now you see many things coming at you with so many dissonance. What the fuck you gonna do when you really see all this this pressure coming at you. Depression's gonna hit you hard. PTSD, now you know what it's gonna go around. It's gonna be like that. Now you really don't know what to do next, because if you do, you might just wanna flex. All those magic numbers.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Men of peace create engines of war. Invaders create avengers. The victors program their future enemies. All other shit fear. Inevitably, men die from their own remedies. What the fuck is the sense in that? Why do we keep fighting each other? This doesn't make sense. What the fuck are we doing? Fuck this shit! I'm done with this reality! I'm done!
Embrace the dark so you can see so many things in a different perspective. Perception is projection, so what the fuck, bring it down, put the sound and you'll see so many different perspectives that you don't wanna be in. Because if you do, you're gonna regulate and alternate all those realities. Parallel to be exact, don't go out of body because it might be whack for you if you don't know what to do. Astral project, that's the way it goes. But then again, if you go out of mind, you will be out of sight. So what the fuck, yo? Bring it down cause the sound of it slow, cause you will be with this old soul. Alone, but you wouldn't wanna be, because you don't even know what to do with all that solitary